Amsterdam. I was sitting in a conference hall in the middle of Amsterdam, approximately 2,000 people around me, and on the stage someone said a sentence that I have not been able to get out of my head since. Change happens with people, not to people. The sentence was said by Linn Teigland, Global Vice Chair from Berenstein Young. Welcome to 50 Minutes Customer Obsession. I'm Peggy, your host, and this is the place where we turn touch points into trust points for people, customers, and you. I just spent 3 days in Amsterdam, one full entire day at the Mews event, yearly event, Unfold. Mews is a software system. And yes, the most important hospitality tech conference in Europe, I would say. And today I'm telling you what I actually heard, not the agenda, the undercurrent. And if you are not in the hospitality business, stay with me. Because what? 2,000 hotel leaders just learned about the future and their industry is exactly what is about to happen in yours. One entire day full of keynotes, panel discussions, demonstrations, everybody talking about AI, agentic systems, robots, automation. Considering that we are from the people business, hospitality, still. And then someone puts a slide up. 30% of guest messages never get a response. Wow. Well, that's you, me, all of us. We were in this situation. 30%. Not because of bad tech, because nobody is listening. You can automate everything, you can optimize every touch point, you can build the smartest system in the room, and your guest still feels like nobody is home. The more technology becomes a commodity, the more valuable one fact becomes that the machine cannot do. And that is us. Humanity, innovation, empathy. Every speaker said it in a different way. And I was smiling sometimes because, well, this is part of genuine human experience framework. Everyone basically underlining the same thing. What machines can do no longer defines your value. What humans feel does. That is not a slogan, that is a structural shift. And 3 speakers I have picked for you that I would like to share with you today, because those were my takeaways. And they are impossible to ignore. So let's dive in. 3 voices, 1 shift. Let me start with Gilad, Berenstein, travel tech investor, Virtuoso board member. Virtuoso is one of the luxury travel agencies most important worldwide. He walked on the stage, put up a slide, and the word users crossed out, above it, handwritten, people. His thesis: we are entering the golden area of small and medium business. The old moats of the big corporations are breaking. Scale, property software, marketing power, capital advantage, and all of it leveled by cloud, AI, and open source. What remains? The strength of the small, local, authentic, agile, close to the customer. The future will be not won by the biggest brands, it will be won by those who stay close to their people. The second voice, Bashar Wali, one of the most distinctive voices in the US lifestyle hospitality. He opened with a question that cut through the room. What the F is lifestyle? What means a lifestyle hotel. Everyone in the industry uses that word, but nobody can really define it. And yes, he argued this is the problem. His answer was disarming in its simplicity. The future is small, really, maybe rather simple. And then he added something I will not forget, and I liked it so much. He said, we all should not be only just Instagrammable, we should also be shazamable. And I loved it because it implements also the sound, the soundtrack of our spaces where we are, the soundtracks of our brand becomes or should become finally central. And yeah, not the lobby, not the 3 count. What does the place sound like should be the question. What does it feel like? And that is new luxury. And the third voice, Matt Welle, CEO of Mews, the company hosting the conference, he brought the reframe that tied everyone together. He gave functions, employee positions completely new names, from administrators to memory makers, from functions to feelings, from I like this hotel to this place feels like me. In my words, and actually, if you would call my husband now and would ask him, what is Peggy saying when she really feels a place? And then he would say, that is very simple. She says, I'm clicking with this space. When I'm traveling, or when I'm going to restaurants, or when I'm in a place that I really feel, I say, wow, I clicked with this place. I click with this city. I click with this store. I click with this restaurant. I am just merging into, and this is exactly what the future will be. Exceptional hotel teams plus tech that amplifies exactly this. This is the new formula of magical hospitality. No tech that replaces talent, tech that amplifies it. That distinction is everything. So 3 speakers, 3 different angles, all pointing to the same conclusion. Technology is becoming a commodity. Everyone will have the same AI, the same tools, the same automation, the same cloud, and the same data, sooner or later. The only point that will be not commoditized is what a human being feels when they walk into your space, interact with your team and brand, or experience the same. That is not going to be automated. That is going to be the difference. Many interesting people and speakers have been able to inspire me. One in particular, very much, if not the most. It was an encounter that was unexpected. It was not planned. And it was one of the most powerful moments at this conference. And it didn't happen on stage. I caught Amber Asher kind of off guard. We were sitting next to each other during lunchtime, quiet. And if you don't know Amber, I can tell you, look her up and get to know the story. She started as a lawyer, then joined Standard International Hotels in 2011 as general counsel, rose to president, then CEO, took the company from 4 US hotels to 25 hotels across the world, raised 700% revenue growth, profitability achieved, and led the sale to Hyatt Hotels, a deal worth up to $355 million. And she's mother of 2 girls, 2 lovely girls. I saw the pictures. Recently joined the Mews board, and really one of the most remarkable leaders in our industry. so natural, so accessible, so inspiring. We were talking about future of hospitality, also looking at luxury as from the critical side. And let's say if we could have in the future a merge between pure elegance and the freedom and the spirit for the guest, for the people just to be, this is the ideal hotel. Standard hotels, I was an early fan, I have to say, because they broke every rule in the industry. Most hotels, for example, treat food and beverage as a supporting function. At Standard, some properties, and this is what she shared then, generated 73% of their revenue from F&B. Normally, it's the other way around, that the main revenue comes from rooms division, not food and beverage. And this is like so special because you have not a hotel with a restaurant, you have a restaurant with a cultural hub in a hotel. Creativity, good energy, access to people, besides from stiffness and pretentious behavior of guests. Not always the most elegant, but always the most alive might be a Standard hotel. And here she was, sitting at lunch next to me and exactly incorporating this culture, I have to say. Actually, the woman who built all of that with her team. This is what she also underlined. We have a great opportunity right now to be closer to people again, to think outside of the box, to remember what made hospitality matter before we start optimizing from the morning to the evening. Actually, she said, before we starting optimizing the soul out of the business. And she comes from the Standard hotel world, where rules were made to be broken, where F&B was not the cost center, but the magnet, where the brand was not the logo, was the feeling. And that feeling, that is what technology cannot produce. Human or hype. This week, AI showrooms at hospitality conferences. The exhibition floor was full of them, robots, butlers, AI concierges, automated demo rooms, impressive technology, genuinely smart engineering. And every single person I spoke to remembered the hallway conversation more than any demo. Technology is real, it works, and it will be adopted. But it will not be the reason anyone chooses your hotel or your company, your brand. It will be the reason they have no reason to leave. And that is not the same thing. So the hype, when the robot becomes the headline and the human becomes the footnote. And human, when tech disappears into the background and the human moment becomes the only thing that the guest remembers. And this is the feeling I take also away from this amazing, I have to say, event, Unfold. My compliments also to Mews and the organizational team. I had really little to criticize, and I enjoyed very much innovation, the merge between tech and people, how it was set up. My last question that I cannot stop thinking and that you might take in tomorrow's morning's day is this. When your technology becomes the same as everyone else's, and it will, that's for sure, what will be left that makes someone choose you? And are you investing in that right now? This question sat with me also in Amsterdam, and I think it should sit with you too. During this conference, I often was thinking about my work in the past 12 months and the framework of genuine human experience that I have been working on for long now. And again, it's not a method, it's a stance. And what this conference also showed me, the industry is slowly arriving where we have been standing for a while. This was episode number 10 of the second season here at 15 Minutes Customer Obsession. If something landed today, forward it to one person who is navigating the same questions. That forward is worth more to me than any campaign. Follow the show, leave a review if you can, if possible 5 stars, and connect with me in LinkedIn. I read every message. And don't forget, AI is great, but humanity is the driving force. See you next Tuesday.